Thank you all for speaking with me today. I'm going to ask everybody a little something here, but I'll throw it to Gavin first. Gavin, what's it like to be a hero?
That's something I've thought about, like, why me? Why am I chosen? When I started, I didn't want my story to be something like, look, I was living in poverty and now I'm not in poverty and I did it myself, and that's awesome. I really wanted the point of my show to be, or my episode, to be about the processing that went from living in poverty or being gay in a place where it's not acceptable. And I think highlighting that story and that narrative, saying that makes you a hero, you're doing the processing or you've done it. I think that's really powerful. And I hope people get that from it as well. You don't have to win a prize. You don't have to do some great thing. Doing this very human thing, it makes you a hero.
Absolutely inspiring, and work in the room here, keeping up the compliments for Gavin to keep going here. I'm going to start with Nicole. Nicole, what was your highlight of producing this episode and making it happen and getting Gavin's wonderful story out into the world?
Yeah, so I think that the highlight, that's a tough question. I think that the highlight for me overall, because I show ran the show, so I got to bring all the heroes together and all the directors together, is just that we really set out with this mission to make a show that helps people feel less alone and less ashamed. Mm-hmm. And I really think that each episode does that individually, and it does it as a series as well. Like I feel less alone now and less ashamed of things. Like every episode changed me in a way. I mean, and the two other episodes that are represented here, Emily's episode directed by Ashley and Athena's episode directed by Smriti, changed my life. Like producing those episodes changed my life, and getting to work with Ashley and Smriti as well. And so hearing each of these stories, it has that opportunity. I was actually talking to my husband on the way. I was like, what do you think is the thing? And he's like, it has the opportunity to change people's lives, like this show. And I was just like, yes, thanks. Thanks, love. But that's really it. I mean, each episode did do that for me. And I've heard very similar things from everybody that's now taken a chance to watch it.
Ashley, same question at you here. Highlight from being involved with growing up?
Grew up with a lot of shame. I didn't come into owning my disability until I was 30. It's a very long time to live with that shame. And I feel like if I saw a story like this and, a network and people validating my story, it would have changed my life. So it's learning from Emily and seeing the power that this is going to have for other disabled people, that we get a seat at the table, because a lot of the time disability is forgotten in the conversation.
Kishori, same question at you, if you don't mind the lack of original questioning.
That's just fine. I mean, on a personal note, this was my first time ever getting the trust to direct something. I'm sort of historically and still am like a producer primarily. So having like Nicole's trust to join her to direct was specifically a really lovely experience for me. But I think to echo what has been said, I came on board to the show in the beginning as a producer to help develop it with Nicole. And so I got very luckily a front row seat to meet a lot of the other characters outside my episode, including Gavin, and just, getting to sit in on those interviews with Smriti and everyone else as I got to know their subjects was just like a gift. It was like free therapy for me to just listen in.
And last but not least, didn't mean to leave you out there.
Not at all. I think, for me, one of the most profound things of my life has been the relationship that I formed with Athena. We're still in touch. We still talk, frequently. She's like my little sister now. And I think she was just somebody I needed in my life. And I'm so grateful that we found each other. That's been an incredible gift that this series, has given to me beyond, anything else. And then I think, the process of making this episode it so fundamentally changed my life. Like, it so fundamentally changed the way that I see myself. And I have a 7-year-old daughter, and I think a lot about how to not even inadvertently pass on some of the trauma that I was raised with to her. And making this episode of television and meeting Athena and working with all of these amazing people played such a key role in me really seeing how to change that pattern. So it's like goes far beyond, like a project or a directing gig or whatever it was. It was truly, I think, transformed my life, and hopefully, the next generation too.
Well, thank you all for making the world a better place, and a better place rather, and doing it through Disney Plus. Thank you.
Paltrocast.